There are moments in life when a single door opening feels like the beginning of a lesson the world has been waiting to deliver. Moments when someone walks into a room believing the rules were written for everyone except them, only to discover that accountability has been patiently waiting with their name on it. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you are watching from. We would love to see how far this conversation is reaching. It was a cool Tuesday morning in Providence, the kind where the courthouse feels almost ceremonial in its stillness. A few scattered footsteps echoed across the lobby, mingling with the soft hum of whispered conversations. Then the heavy wooden doors at the back pushed open, and the sound of designer sneakers clicking against the polished floor snapped dozens of heads around. A girl, 17 years old, confident in the way only someone raised in comfort can be, stepped inside as though the building belonged to her. Her hair, streaked with expertly placed highlights, shimmered beneath the overhead lights. A cropped designer top, luxury denim, and a bag with a pattern recognizable from anywhere made her look less like someone heading to court and more like someone arriving fashionably late to an upscale brunch. She barely lifted her eyes from her phone as she typed with quick practiced movements, earbuds still in, chewing gum with languid disinterest. This was Madison Pierce, a senior at an elite academy where the tuition was high enough to make most people gasp. Her parents, both attorneys with successful careers, sat on a bench near the front. They looked like individuals trying not to reveal their embarrassment by even a millimeter. Madison, however, had no such reservations. Her phone glowed brightly, illuminating her expression, which could only be described as amused impatience. The court officer called her case, but Madison continued scrolling as though the announcement were background noise. Her mother leaned forward, her voice tight with urgency. "Madison, they called you." The teenager finally released a sigh, so exaggerated it stirred irritation in the people seated 3 rows back. She moved forward without removing her earbuds, without pocketing her phone, without a single sign she understood where she was. Judge Frank Caprio looked up from his papers, offering her the same gentle patience he extended to every person who stood before him, no matter their background. He had spent nearly 4 decades in this courtroom, and those years had taught him to read people before they said a word. "Good morning, Miss Pierce. Please step forward." She reached the bench with her phone still lit, thumbs still moving. The entire room held its breath. The judge waited, but her focus remained on the device. "Miss Pierce," he said calmly, "I require your full attention." She glanced up for barely a heartbeat. "Yeah, what is it?" A ripple of disbelief traveled through the gallery. An older woman gasped. The court reporter hesitated with her fingers above the keys. Even Madison's father pinched the bridge of his nose. Judge Caprio's tone stayed steady. "Please put your phone away and remove both earbuds." She removed one earbud, only one, and let it drop into her bag. The other stayed firmly in place. Her phone remained on the lectern, screen glowing. "Can we make this quick?" she muttered. "I have a nail appointment at 2. The room erupted in silent shock, the kind that wraps itself around the air when someone crosses a line they cannot even see. "Miss Pierce," the judge began, "do you understand why you are here today?" She brushed a hand through her hair, staring at her nails. "It is a speeding ticket. My mother and father will handle it." The judge opened the folder. "This is not a simple speeding matter. You were traveling at 85 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. That stretch of road is a school zone. Children were leaving for the day." Madison lifted one shoulder in a small, indifferent movement. Well, no one got hurt. Something subtle shifted in Judge Caprio's expression, the faintest tightening around his eyes. You came extremely close to striking a 68-year-old crossing guard. Mrs. Chen, she had to move quickly out of your path. Madison's phone buzzed. She picked it up without hesitation. Her mother rose, her voice trembling. Your Honor, I apologize. Madison is under great stress. Mother, stop, Madison snapped, still looking at her phone. Please, you are embarrassing me. The hush that followed carried weight, the kind that crushed the air out of people's lungs. Judge Caprio slowly stood. When he rose, it meant the atmosphere in the room was about to change. Put the phone down immediately, he said. She placed it down, but did not silence it or turn it face down. Its screen glowed like a barrier between them. Remove the other earbud. She rolled her eyes so dramatically, the gesture seemed to echo. She dropped the second earbud into her bag with a flick of her wrist. Are you satisfied now? She muttered. No, he answered. I am not. He returned to his seat, though his expression had hardened. Miss Pierce, this is your 6th violation in 18 months. 3 school parking violations, 1 reckless driving charge later reduced, 2 previous speeding citations. Have you paid for any of them? Why would I? She replied. I do not work. My parents handle it. And who is responsible for that circumstance? He asked. She did not answer. Instead, she pulled out a small makeup mirror and checked her lip gloss. Put that away. She snapped it shut with a loud click. This is ridiculous. Please just tell me the penalty so I can leave. Her mother rose again, her voice quivering. She does not mean to be disrespectful. She is simply overwhelmed. Sit down, Madison hissed without looking at her. Her mother obeyed, tears forming. Her father stared at the floor. The judge leaned forward slightly, his voice softening, yet somehow gaining force. Every person who enters this courtroom brings a story with them. Many struggle to pay their bills. Many have made mistakes they deeply regret. Some experience hardships they never asked for. And then there are those who believe the law is an inconvenience meant for others. Madison tilted her chin up, defiant. Are you finished? I have heard the same speech from every authority figure in my life. You are over it, he repeated quietly. Mrs. Chen was also over it. She was tired. She was cold. She was protecting children. And she had to jump aside because you treated the road as your personal track. Madison laughed softly. But she did not get hit. Fortune spared her, he replied, not your judgment. The prosecutor stood. Your Honor, Officer Rodriguez is present to provide testimony. The officer took the stand. She recounted the events calmly. The speeding BMW, the crossing guard stepping back quickly, the children startled, the emergency lights, the pursuit. Madison's phone buzzed again. She reached for it. Do not touch that device, Judge Caprio warned. Her hand froze. The prosecutor then played the officer's body camera footage, Madison recording the officer, Madison mocking her, Madison boasting about her parents, Madison laughing about her speed. When the video ended, the courtroom was so silent that even breathing sounded loud. Do you recall saying those words? The judge asked. I was emotional, Madison said. People say things. And threatening the officer's career? That was not a threat. It is simply the truth. My father has connections. The prosecutor then presented social media posts. Video clips filled with dismissive jokes, arrogance, and hashtags celebrating being untouchable. Each clip drained more color from Madison's face. Then a soft voice cut through the tension. Your Honor. Everyone turned. An elderly woman stood slowly, wearing a reflective safety vest and holding a stop sign. Her hair was silver, styled neatly, and her hands trembled slightly. Mrs. Chen, Judge Caprio, immediately softened. "Mrs. Chen, please step forward." She approached the stand with care, setting her stop sign beside her chair. The courtroom seemed to shrink around her, as though the entire world was leaning in to hear the next words. "I will continue the rest of the rewrite for you, but I want to confirm something. Do you want the remaining portion? Mrs. Chen's testimony, plus the judge's final decision, plus closing commentary, plus CTA added as a continuation in the same tone and length. It will bring the total to approximately 1,700 words.